Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside J Dog, or AKA the
Mike,
Minister.
the minister this week. We're back. A lot's happened to both of us since we last spoke to our listeners. I'm reminded of something we did Man on the Street in LA on Hollywood Boulevard like 10 years ago. Classic video. It went viral. Check it out on our YouTube page. And we interviewed a woman and we asked her for her best spring break story. And she looked at me, and I hope you remember this. She looked at me and she said, I don't have spring break stories, but I got some summer stories for you. And Mike, the two of us, have some summer stories to go over.
A lot of summer stories. Lots have happened. We traveled. I got married. You married us. It was a big event.
You got to work on the terminology. I learned that early on how to say what happened. Like I didn't marry you.
Okay.
Right. We're not married.
We did not get married, but you married Aaron and I.
I officiated.
You officiated.
The minister officiated the wedding.
We also signed the legal documents stating that you married us. So
I put a note in there. I gave Aaron an out anytime. I put that on the marriage document.
Good. Okay, that's good. So she can get out.
So, but a lot's happened. What was your highlight? Give us your European highlight.
I think it was after the wedding. The wedding leading up, very exhausting. It felt like, I don't know how to describe it. It felt like so much emotion that you couldn't even like physically show emotion, that it was just like so much was going on. So many people were talking to you, and then it was over. And the relief after we actually got married was more than I ever thought. I didn't think I was stressed out about it. It was very stressful, everything coming together. But really the highlight was the honeymoon after. It was just relaxation.
After everyone left you. This is classic Mike, everyone. If you don't know him well, this is Mike. Everyone flies to Paris to hang out with him, but the highlight is the week after.
Well, no, it was fun with everybody there. It was just a lot. It's like it's a marathon. You know, it's like how many days can you drink and eat in France constantly?
I know.
It's exhausting. I gained a lot of weight. I'm definitely a lot heavier than I was when I started.
No, I did not. I came back the same way, even though I ate like a pig. And I was thinking in Europe, the preservatives aren't as in the food as much as in the US. So that's good. And we were walking like 15, 18,000 steps a day on my iPhone. So that seems to help a lot. The European lifestyle, you would think, makes people fat, but you look around, there's no fat people. So you know something's working for them.
Smoking cigs and walking to get food. That's the key to life, I think, right there.
That's what
which one of our friends does really well.
A few of our friends do a few of those things. I feel the same way as you. I was so relieved when the wedding was finally over because it was a big build up for me. You know, a lot of anxiety, the public speaking. But it went well. It was at an amazing venue. Congratulations on your venue. Your bride and your venue won the day. You were definitely third place.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But it was great. It's almost surreal in a way. Like you don't realize that it actually happened. I haven't seen any professional photos yet. I have like a few iPhone photos, not much that I can actually see like the ceremony or like us dancing, anything like that. So I'm still unsure if it really happened because there's very few photos.
Oh, it happened. And he cried, everyone. We did get tears from our boy. So that was good to see.
Yeah. So it's all over now. We're back on real life. We're married, and you are now for hire. So if anybody needs a minister, Jeremy's available at any time. Just fly him out and he's there. He will work for you.
Yeah, it might require something slightly more. It's a lot of work.
Sure.
But yeah, I am available. Side hustle's a real thing. He loves to travel. He doesn't have a home, so he's very available for weddings in any part of the world.
Yeah, he'll stay with your house. He'll do whatever it needs to.
It's actually a requirement. 2 weeks lead up for research, wedding research. That's what we call it.
So we took a little hiatus. We were off for August. We traveled. Football is back. We did our draft, the longest draft ever for drafting like 6 players on your team. We did it on Monday, and
it's the worst format. Like if your draft is not, if everyone's like in person, that's one thing. If there's 12 people in person, that's like a party. That's fun. That's cool. Maybe not during COVID, but whatever. That's fine. But to do it not on person and not on one of the league approved like applications or platforms, and to do it on your own Google sheet or Excel sheet. If this is happening in your league, and it might, because it happens in both of my 2 leagues, like I'm in 2 leagues and it happens in both of them. get out, just get out of the league.
Yeah.
Because every single year it's the biggest waste of time and it doesn't work. And people might not know what I'm talking about. All I'm going to say is draft on ESPN or Yahoo or wherever your league is, draft on there, and that will be so much better.
It's weird because the two, I'm guessing the two leagues you're in, our mutual friend probably is in both and loves Excel. Master at Excel, which I can't use Excel. All props for anybody that can do Excel and run a draft in it. But obviously there's going to be timing issues and maybe salary cap issues, things that just pop up that just
there were some issues.
Things that don't usually pop up in regular ESPN drafts because they don't allow you to do that. So it was long. We're done, but it's the one league that I actually care about. That's why I dropped it down only to that league. It's a salary cap keeper league. I'm sure no one really cares, but I think we created one of the best leagues ever just because of the way the format
the draft is losing its relevance. So now that we're in like what, year 7 or 8 of the keeper league, and I've never been in a keeper league that long. Most people probably haven't. Fantasy isn't that old. I'm realizing that the talent is really getting sucked up, and there's very few good players in every draft outside of rookies. Because in the first couple of years, sometimes you miss, sometimes you overpay, and if you overpay for someone in our format and a lot of formats, you would kind of send them back into the pile because you don't want to overpay on the keeper value. But it just, there were no good players available outside of like Najee Harris and Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. So I guess I almost disagree because I think, like, for instance, there's one guy, Phil, in our league. He kept 2 of the top running backs, but he didn't draft anybody until he was able to draft people for like $5 or less to keep him on his team. So you have an advantage to get more mediocre players that might put up better numbers. Like, I don't think he's going to do very well this year because he didn't have a team.
One of his 2 is Saquon Barkley, so that's his first problem.
I know. So I think there is a way that, maybe you don't have an advantage, but you still are able to go back to that pool and maybe get some of those people that might be better off, next year or 2 years from now. And it's kind of hard. Maybe we increase the bench so we can get more players of value. I don't know.
I was thinking decrease the keeper value. Again, no one cares about this, but who was your favorite player that you drafted in that draft?
Favorite player I drafted was, I don't know how he's going in the league, but Estridge. He was my last pick. Seahawks wide receiver. I'm really hyped about him. I think he's going to be like a Percy Harvin type slot receiver guy. I think he's going to get a lot of volume. Super excited. No one knew who he was. Everybody thought he didn't even play football because I did throw out
I didn't know him. I didn't know him. And just for the record, I started my fantasy prep on the flight home from Europe like 5 days before. I did not read one fantasy football note. I know you said you were cramming on the honeymoon. We were busy leading up to it, so it's understandable. I didn't know who he was. I know you love to watch Russ cook in Seattle. You love to do a lot of things in Seattle, Mike. But Russ cooking with the rookie receiver, we'll see how that works out. Because they still got Metcalf and Lockett. Those are the guys. Yeah,
but they're more like deep threats, like guys that are going down there getting deep threats. Who was your favorite pickup of the draft?
I love Chase Claypool. I overpaid for him a little bit. I think so. The last time he took the field, he had 2 touchdowns against the Browns in a playoff game that the Steelers got blown out in. I don't think the Steelers will be very good this year. I know they're going to have the rookie running back. Their offensive line's not very good. I think they're going to lose a lot of games. When they lose games, that means game flow in the fourth quarter, means Ben's going to sling it. Ben's garbage time numbers are big when they're losing games. I think Claypool benefits from that.
Do you want to jump into some best bets and then we can go over some football topics?
Can we do breaking news real quick? Do you have the board ready?
The board is not ready. I have a whole new setup here. Like, it's totally. Listen, I just got back. I'm trying to adjust back to work life.
It's only been a week. It's okay. Okay, so the Ravens are doing what a lot of fantasy football owners are doing, Mike. They're going with a 0 RB strategy this season because they're out of running backs. So far, J.K. Dobbins has torn his ACL, and now today, Gus Edwards also tore his ACL. And now it's Le'Veon Bell and Devontae Freeman are going to be elevated to the team, along with this rookie Tyson Williams, I think his name is. Don't know much about him either. The Ravens are in trouble. They're a running team. I don't think you can rely on Lamar to take all the hits if he's going to be like your main rusher.
So I instantly thought of, like, if the football teams were fantasy teams, I think the Tennessee Titans are also very similar in the way of like drafting. Like, they got big names, but I don't know if they're actually going to be that good. Like, they got Julio in his last few years. The Ravens probably going to be terrible. They don't have running backs. I don't know why Le'Veon was a free agent. What happened to him? Like, he was going to be the highest paid ever, got booted the Jets, and they went over to KC, and now he's just like, why is he free? I don't understand it at all. It doesn't.
Well, he wasn't good in any of those places. He hasn't been good since he left the Steelers.
I know, but I feel like there's still talent there, which that's why I also threw him out in our draft when he was a free agent.
You should have probably bid for him.
Probably should have got him, but yeah, I just it is a weird situation going on there. I'm sure they'll be fine, but they're not going to be as good as they should be.
I don't know what this means because I think they're a Super Bowl team with a good running back. Will Devonta Freeman be that person? Probably not. So I don't know where it leads them. Maybe they make a trade. Latavius Murray's out there. He's not a good running back anymore. But there's always guys out there this time of year. Guys are getting cut. Yeah. So we'll see. But I think the Ravens are in trouble. But who's going to win that division? The Steelers, I just said, are in trouble. The Browns with Odell are bad. Without Odell, they're good. Don't you have Odell too?
I have Odell. I have the whole Browns team, I think. I have Odell. I have
all their receivers.
Yeah, I got everybody.
Maybe it's the Browns who benefit the most from this, but we'll see. But let's proceed with best bets. I hope Tampa Bay is included because people are listening to this. The game already happened. The Bucs probably already got upset by Dak and the Cowboys, but I'm ready. Ready.
So I was going to bet tonight. I felt like it was a little too, I don't know what's going on. It's Thursday night. Everybody's hyped over Hard Knocks watching. By the way, did you watch Hard Knocks at all?
No. Who is it?
It was the Cowboys. It was your boy Dak.
I didn't see it. Was it good?
It was so bad. I watched last night's episode or Tuesday's episode, and there's this little kid, and he was looking at Dak. He's like, "Hey, Patrick Mahomes. Hey, how you doing?" Totally just not Patrick Mahomes at all, but he was super excited. So no one knows who Dak is.
A lot of people make that mistake.
I was gonna take the Bucs, but I decided if I was actually gonna bet the game, which I did. Personally, I bet it, not with our mutual friend. I took the Cowboys in the points tonight. Now, that's not part of my best bets, but
wow,
I like it. I feel like everybody's on the Bucs. You can't. No, I don't like Dak. I don't like what's going on. He's injured, barely any practice. I don't think they're going to be good, but it's the first game. So I feel like everybody's going to be a little bit off. So just take the points, see how it goes. I hope.
I agree with you. The line is getting big, like 8.5 or 9. That's a little big for a good Cowboys team. And like you said, like no one's ready for week 1, so anything can happen. So I think the line should be shrunken this week. Like everything should kind of compress until we really know the truth, and then we can start to expand the lines. 8.5 to 9, like all what?
It's excitement. Everybody's excited tonight, and they're just like, "Let me put some money on the game," and that's why I wanted to stay off. I was like, "Oh,"
but like 80% of the money's on Tampa. People forget, like Tampa wasn't great last year until the last 2-3 games of the playoff run. They were 7-5 at one point. We were asking if they were going to make the playoffs. We were asking if they were going to win a playoff game. They beat Aaron Rodgers, and then they beat Patrick Mahomes. That was an epic last 2 games. Prior to that, they weren't that impressive. I think they played Washington in the playoffs, and it was a close game in the first round. So we don't know how good Tampa really is. They're all a year older. Like, they're not a young team, and they're all older. I know Brady doesn't age. We'll get to that in a minute. But Antonio Brown ages. Their defense ages. Their offensive line ages. So we're going to see an older team. I don't think the Bucs have a big season. I guess we can start right there.
Well, I think overall, Tom Brady always needs to get warmed up, right? He's not that good in the first month or two. Got to get warmed up, figure everything out, because there's no more preseason, and I think it's limited practice. How much are they actually doing? So I think these few games, this first month, all going to be kind of feeling it out. And who knows? Maybe they go 3-2 or whatever, 2-3. But I think they're warming up, and I think that's totally fine. And that's why I didn't want to bet the game, because it's
17 games. That's kind of exciting. We get an extra regular season game, 18 weeks. Super Bowl is going to be a week later. It's not going to benefit the veteran teams. Maybe we'll see some like load management, like we're seeing in the NBA. You know, we did a J-Dog takes on that this year. Maybe Brady's either winning or losing the game in the second half, like by a lot of either way. They take them out. Maybe they take out some veteran receivers or defensive backs who are running around a lot. It could be something to watch for this year. We'll see how it goes.
But don't you think that extra game now, do they can win or lose one more? Or I don't know how it's going to fill out when they're going into the playoffs, because didn't they add one extra playoff slot as well? Like not everybody's going to get in, but I'm just saying now it's like either you're the best or try to like make the playoffs and you're not getting a bye week. So just kind of figure it out.
You're right. There's one more wild card team, right? Yeah. So it's 7 in each. So now 14 teams out of 32 will make the playoffs. That's a lot. That's almost 50%.
A lot of teams. All right. I got my,
let's get to the bets.
All right. My first bet, I was talking about Tennessee. I don't like them. I'm going Arizona here. I think this is the only
What's the game? Where's it at?
It's in Tennessee. It's Arizona at Tennessee. I think the line, what is the line right now? I don't know what the line is, but no, it's Arizona +3. So they're getting 3 points on the road. I don't like Tennessee. Their offensive coordinator, I think, went over to Atlanta. Now they're over there, running games over there.
Mm-hmm.
So few things have changed. I don't know if Tannehill's really that good. We know Henry's good, and they got these 2 wide receivers that are studs, but now it's a whole new offense. So who knows what's going on? I think Arizona's defense is a little bit better, and this is the one time I'm going to play it because I think defense can outpace a little offense in the first game because defense is easy. Just go attack somebody. Offense,
I like the Cardinals more than the Titans, but I disagree with you on the pick. The Titans, they're a physical team, and a physical team is going to come and hit you in the mouth when you're not ready for it. And Derrick Henry will never be fresher than this week. Julio Jones is old. I agree. I don't think he has a big season. He's never going to feel better than he does this week. A.J. Brown is banged up throughout the season. He doesn't practice all year. He's probably going to feel the best he's going to feel all year this week. So I think the Titans win this week. I think Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury, they haven't been good on the road.
You got 3 points. You got 3 points here. So Arizona can still lose and get 3 points. So we're going with the 3 points.
Team is -3. It's like a toss-up. I'll take the Titans. So we're disagreeing at the jump. Okay. Not a good start.
All right. Okay. Next one. I like Minnesota, -2.5 in Cincinnati. This is just basically plain Burrow was injured, coming back. I think he threw 1 snap all preseason. So this is not good. You're a rookie quarterback, second-year quarterback coming in after a major injury. You got 1 throw in the preseason. Now you think you're ready to play. I think Minnesota has good defense. I'm taking Minnesota. This one seemed really like too obvious, and it was a very low plus-minus here. So I like Minnesota. It's an easy one.
I think the Vikings will have a small line like throughout the year. They'll never be favored by a lot because their quarterback refuses to take the COVID vaccine. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But you never know throughout the week if he's going to be ruled out and the line's going to change a lot. So that's something to look out for with the Vikings and a few other teams. I want to cover that in a minute. The Bengals have had a terrible offseason. Burrow is rusty. He's missing passes in training camp. Their first-round receiver, Jamar Chase, apparently is complaining about the size of the NFL ball compared to the college ball.
He said there was no stitches on it, so he can't see it coming, and it's all brown coming towards his face.
That's why he's dropping everything. He didn't play last year. Maybe that's why he's dropping everything because he sat out the season due to COVID, and we know Burrow is injured. Was injured as well. So I think the Bengals are gonna have a rough start to the year. I don't trust their coaching staff to make any of this work. So I think the Vikings win this game, and the Bengals will lose a lot of games again this year.
My next one, I really like this one. The Washington football team, which, by the way, they have a whole list of names. We can play a little game later. But the Washington
Why aren't they named yet? Why are we doing the second year of this?
Like another year. So Washington football team at home versus the Chargers. Chargers are coming west. I like this just for Washington's defense. I think their defense is going to destroy Herbert. It's his second year back, starting quarterback. I think he's really good, but I like Washington here. This feels easy. You're getting +1 right now. I think right now the current line is like 0. It's just a pick 'em. I think it's a great game. I think Chargers.
Where's the game?
It's in Washington.
You've been a big Washington supporter in the Ron Rivera era. You know who their quarterback is. You're a big fan of him. The bearded one. Yeah. He looks kind of like you too. Their defense is really good. Herbert had a great year. The Chargers are a team they're always hurt. So maybe like week 1 again, like maybe they're a little healthier this week.
Eckler's out this week playing.
He's not out, right?
He's out. He's
missing practice.
I thought he was not. I think he's not playing this weekend.
I hadn't heard that. He tweaked his hamstring. If Eckler's out, they don't have much of a running game. Herbert against that defense, Chase Young's going to hit him a lot. I like the pick. I don't like Washington a lot this year. I know people are giving them like playoff buzz. Maybe they make it, maybe not. That division sucks. I'll agree with you here. So I'm with you on 2 out of 3 so far.
Okay. The next one I like the Dolphins playing New England.
Mike.
I think this is the one stat we have. Divisional dogs, week 1, I think are like 67% against the spread, and they're playing a rookie QB. I don't love what Tua did last year, but I think hopefully he gets a little better. They're getting 2.5 points in New England. I love it. I think this is it. I know Belichick, you don't want to play against them, blah, blah, blah. Mac Jones is there. How good can Mac Jones really be? I don't think he's going to come out. He's going to make mistakes. Miami has great defense too. All about defense this week.
They're really similar teams. You got the young quarterback, the good
Yep.
defense, and the defensive mastermind head coach. So it's almost like, is Tua kind of a rookie in his own way? Because he didn't play a lot last year. He played, then Fitzpatrick would come in. So Tua got some reps, but he wasn't healthy for a lot of it. And he wasn't very good. So you can almost look at Tua like he's a rookie, just like Mac Jones is in a way.
Yep.
And then who do you trust more, Belichick versus Tua or Flores versus Mac Jones? I'm not feeling great about the Dolphins' chances in this game. I think Belichick is a mastermind. And until Tua does it, we're kind of like waiting with bated breath until he wins a big game because he hasn't really done it yet. He was slinging with Mahomes a little bit last year in a Chiefs game. I'll agree because I'm the Dolphins, but I don't know. I don't love it. Are you doing that in your real suit? In your real
I'm
super
doing
contest?
that, yeah, in the real super contest. I felt pretty good about it. It was the divisional dog and the rookie QB. I think it's kind of tough. You're coming in there. I feel like you're a little more hyped up when you're on the road and you're playing somebody and you know it's a rookie QB and you have really good defense. I just feel like the matchup is favorable this week because both teams don't know what they're going to show, and I don't know how magical Mac Jones is going to be. So we'll see what happens.
It's interesting. I might like the Dolphins more next week when they're at home in Miami. Anytime a team, so next week it's Buffalo, Josh Allen going down to play the Dolphins. It'll be a big line. They are going to die in the fourth quarter of a 1:00 game in the Miami Heat. So that's something to look out for. Okay. The Dolphins are going to New England this week. I don't know. I'm waiting for Tua to show me, and he hasn't shown me.
All right. Well, next game, I'm taking Seattle -2.5 at Indy. I don't understand the line. Has not moved at all. Wentz injured. Didn't practice during training camp. I guess he's playing this week.
He's playing. Yeah.
Which doesn't really affect anything because he hasn't practiced. So I'm taking Seattle -2.5. I think Seattle's a better team. I think they have a better defense. And also, Russ is going to cook. They're ready. They're ready to play. I don't know what the Colts have. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this team's going to be the best team in the world or the worst team. We haven't seen anything from Carson Wentz in the last, 3 years. That's like gives me any like worry. So this feels too easy again. So I'm not, listen, it's hard to feel out this first week. You don't really know what's going on.
We don't know anything. I think Jonathan Taylor has a big year, especially us. We've been traveling. We don't know anything. But thanks for listening, despite us knowing nothing. Jonathan Taylor will have a big year for the Colts offense. I don't know about Carson Wentz. He's another COVID quarterback we're going to talk about here in a minute. We don't know what his deal is, but he's missed all of training camp with the injury since early August. His timing's going to be off with the receivers. There's a few new guys there. I like the Seahawks this week. I think the Colts have a decent season if COVID can stay out of the building, which I don't know how you do that.
Well, that's it for me. I also did place some real bets. I don't know if you can get in on them right now, but if you want to bet a really big one, I did a 6-point tease. I took Tampa Bay and the Rams 6-point tease. I put $50 on it. That was my biggest bet of the week. 6-point tease. Wow. Tampa's definitely going to win. Rams are going to win. I love it. If you want to extra bonus bet.
Yeah, we all were asking for that. All right, Super Bowl picks. We do it at this time every year. I know you have yours ready. Last year, I remember you took the Bills. Who was your NFC team last year? Was it Cowboys? Did you go Bills?
Yeah,
Cowboys? You didn't go Dak.
Bills Cowboys. Yeah,
Did you say Dak?
I didn't say. Did I say Dak? Super Bowl.
I remember you went Bills, and I was proud of you because they almost made it. Like that game against the Chiefs, AFC Championship, came down to the last play.
So who are you taking? Because I'm trying to think real quick who I would go with as a really good matchup.
Well, I think it's going to be a very magical year in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Whoa,
I think there's a lot of drama circulating, and there's been so much buildup that no one's looking that this is the best Packers roster in many years. No one's considering that they should have won the NFC Championship game against the Bucs. That game was in Green Bay. They were at home. They should have gone to the Super Bowl. We know the Chiefs didn't play well. The Packers could have easily won the Super Bowl last year. And the drama around Rodgers is going to bring that team together like we haven't seen. They have a great rushing attack with Aaron Jones. They've got a better defense than they've had. I think it's the Packers, and I think it's the Bills. I think you're right about that. It's not the Chiefs here. I'm not feeling it from Mahomes. I don't know what's going on. I know Mahomes is a legend. He's going to put up fantasy numbers with all the studs. The offensive line is a work in progress. They rebuilt it. Is that ready to go? The Bills defense is better than the Chiefs defense. So I'm going Bills to lose to the Packers in the Super Bowl in LA, which hopefully we're at.
So I just looking at the odds and everything, I'm really feeling this year. I really like the Rams. I feel like this is it. If they don't win this year, they're done. It's like you got Stafford, you got a much more capable quarterback that can do a lot more, and you got your team. This is it. Your salary cap, you're over budget. You got to win. So I think they're going to go all out. I like the Rams. I'm gonna say the Rams. God, I like the Bills too, but I can't. I'm just gonna say Rams KC. I'm gonna go pretty boring here. Rams KC,
Rams
Super
KC.
Bowl.
Be a great one.
I don't know who's gonna win, but I like that matchup a lot.
You got to pick one.
All right, I'll go KC. They got to win it. They go back, they win it.
It's interesting. So a lot of people are saying the Rams could make it, which would be 2 years in a row that a team makes the Super Bowl in their own stadium. Stafford's kind of polarizing right now. Some people think he's going to have a big year and the Rams do well. Some people don't. I always trust Sean McVay. If the guy won so many games with Goff, he's got to be better with Stafford. No one's talking about the Lions. Lions are trash with Goff. If you look at their roster, that team is so bad. They're going to be terrible. I love the Rams pick. I didn't want to be a homer. The Rams are my NFC team. I didn't want to.
Of course.
Like that.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be out here for Super Bowl, right? So you can always, can always try
maybe I'll be out there for a lot. All right, let's do a little Scandal City.
All right, Scandal City. Boo, boo, boo. Scandal City.
The COVID quarterbacks. This is a real storyline to watch out for because they're going to be the ones who let COVID in their building. We know that the virus continues 18 months after it all began because of one group of people, the group that won't get the vaccine. And we got President Biden.
Shout out to them.
President Biden, he's talking about it too. He's going to start mandating it in businesses. I don't know if you saw this, but any business over 100 people mandate the vaccine. So it's a big deal. So now we're allowed to freely talk about you people who aren't taking the vaccine. And there's 4 COVID quarterbacks I've identified to keep an eye on this year and keep an eye on their teams. There's 4 unvaccinated quarterbacks in the NFL. Kirk Cousins, strong supporter of not taking the vaccine. That's going to be a problem for the Vikings. Carson Wentz is not vaccinated. No. If COVID enters the quarterback room, if anyone he knows is exposed, he's out for 10 days. That could be 2 weeks if it happens on a Friday or a Saturday. Lamar Jackson, he's been very quiet since the first week of August, but the first week of August, he would not talk about the vaccine. He said he's not vaccinated.
He got it twice already. I don't know if can he get it a third time?
Well, if he's had COVID the second time, you can probably have it the third time, right? That's what they said about if you have it once, you don't get it twice. You got it twice, he's probably going to have it 3 times. And then the fourth one, maybe it's because this is the reason for being a free agent, but it's Cam Newton. Your boy is unvaccinated. By the way, we might have to do an emergency podcast tomorrow because your boy Cam Newton is going live on Instagram with some breaking news tomorrow. We don't know what this is, but he's going to drop some bombs, maybe talk some shit about Belichick. That would be fun.
What do you think he's going to say? Because you saw the rumor, like the offensive line guys, like, oh yeah, Mac Jones was helping him with the playbook. He didn't know the playbook very well. He was there for 2 years. You should know the playbook. I've never tried to I've never read a playbook, so I have no idea what goes into it. So I imagine it's not easy, but if you were there for 2 years, at least you could remember something about
You've read other books, Mike, and you know how to take those into your brain. So it should be pretty similar to that concept. I think he's maybe not right. I don't know if we can say
what do you think he's gonna say tomorrow? Like, what kind of is he gonna just be like Belichick's an asshole or he's racist? What is he gonna say?
It'll probably be like a vaccine speech. Like, I don't need to be vaccinated. You can't prevent me from being in the league without it. Maybe he'll start a league with Kaepernick. I don't know.
I will say that if you're in the NFL and you're getting paid, let's just say Cam Newton got paid $14 million for 1 year of football. Why not just go get the vaccine and help your team win a Super Bowl? And maybe you could extend your career forward more than 1 year. So I think,
and you could argue he stole that money from New England. He didn't earn it.
Good for him. I mean, Brock Lesnar was the guy who stole like $500 million from multiple teams because he's like 6'7" and should have been a good quarterback. But I think like Cam Newton, if he wanted,
you said Brock Lesnar.
Not Brock Lesnar. Brock, what's his name?
Osweiler.
Whatever.
Go ahead. No, you're making a good point.
I just think if you're in the NFL, get vaxxed. If you're working from home, who cares? Like, if you're staying home, not doing stuff, it doesn't matter. No one.
It does matter. Don't say it doesn't matter because you could infect other people, Mike. That does matter.
I know. But it's like what's going on out there right now is kind of insane with like the fake news and all this other stuff. I'll tell you what, my uncle, I don't know if you met him at the wedding, anti-vaxxer, 100%. Does not.
I wasn't trying to meet him. I'm not trying to go face to face.
Yeah, I just think some people have it in their mind that, hey, you might have gotten 30 vaccines when you were a child, but this one vaccine now, not worth it. So I don't know what's going on. I'm fine.
Well, the interesting thing will be if they're all right. That's
yeah. So if we all die off, then they're going to be winning the world. So good for them.
If we all grow a third arm out of our heads, then they will have won that debate. What else do we have here?
I got the Bishop Sycamore team that like snuck their way onto ESPN. I thought it was really funny because it was breaking while we were in Europe, and I was reading it, and I'm like, wow, this is insane. Because there was like a guy on the team was like literally 30 years old playing running back, and somehow they got onto ESPN. I don't know the full story. I just thought it was a great like way to fake it. They faked it until they made it, and they got on TV, and I loved it. I loved every part of it.
It was amazing. So if you don't know the story, they were playing IMG Academy, which is like this academy in Florida where like it's very expensive and kids go there to get better at sports and all sports. They have a great golf program too. And so they were playing Bishop Sycamore on ESPN. And we don't know how Bishop Sycamore fooled ESPN into letting this game happen. Like ESPN events ran the event and everything. And then they're trying to blame some marketing company for signing up Bishop Sycamore. ESPN didn't do any vetting, and it's so odd. Like, how does this happen? It almost feels like, you know, that show Fielder for You? Is that what it's called? Nathan Fielder?
Oh, Nathan Fielder. Yeah.
You don't like him, I think I want to say. But
no,
but
I like him. I like that guy.
Oh,
He's great.
Okay.
He does all those like weird, like I'm going to do the dumb Starbucks, and people are going to come buy Starbucks from me.
But doesn't it feel like he orchestrated this, and like his new show this fall is going to be like the first episode is going to be Bishop Sycamore and like him scheduling it?
I just don't know. Like, I understand that there could be a way if you knew the process to get on TV. Say you've worked in TV for 20 years and you understand like all you got to do is contact this one person and they kind of move it up. And then from there, there's no like, oh, I'm not going to vet it or whatever. Like, yeah, let's get them up there. They look good. I think that's probably what happened. Like somebody's just like, yeah, this team's like hyped up. They're playing really well out there. Let's get them in. It'll be great for TV. ESPN's just trying to find anything to put on TV right now. Like anything live, like high school football. Sure. Let's put it on. I love that they faked it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they get a TV show out of it. I would watch a Netflix show of like how they managed to get onto ESPN. Yeah, that'd be great.
There's some criminal activity going on. Didn't they play like this was on like a Monday and they played the Friday before, which is like very unsafe for like running backs and people who are getting hit 30 times. And some of them were actually high school kids, which makes it also unsafe because they're 16 and they're still developing and they're playing 2 days in a row. Very strange story. Very super strange.
That's all I got.
I wish we had thought of that. I wish like why can't we like push through that and like give us credit and all the stories for it?
I mean, we should have been the biggest. We should be on like NFL Network at this point. They're doing this on NFL Network right now. We could be on NFL Network doing a live broadcast right now.
It's true. And they're no smarter than us, that's for sure. My last thought is Tom Brady's playing in about an hour. Jeff Bezos is looking into reversing aging. He's hiring scientists from all over the world. I know you're doing the same thing. Look no further than Tom Brady. Who do we have to study other than him? The guy is peaking at 44. No one on earth has peaked at the age of 44 before Tom Brady. So let's all go searching in him. I'm gonna take his hair, whatever he's doing for his hair, because it got better in the last few years.
I hope we can peak at 44. I hope in like 10 years from now we look back, we're like, damn, that 34-year-old body, not where we're at. This 44 is where I want to be.
Because if we're going downhill, it's not gonna get any better.
It's definitely not going to get any better. Well, that's the show. We still have swag on the sportshangover.com. It's still summer. You can get some tanks up there. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and follow us on YouTube too, because all the shows go live on YouTube. You'll be able to hear it first, see it first. It's all there. Also on Facebook, if you follow us, it will just pop up and you'll get notified. I got notified on my phone saying that we are live. So go follow us over there.
Nice. And we're back every week. Like, thanks for sticking with us through the hiatus. You can tell we've been busy, but we're back.
We're back, and we're back and better than ever. I feel refreshed. Do you feel refreshed after the vacation?
I feel refreshed. It's kind of fun talking to you again.
Yeah, it's good. We're back. All right. If we don't get more or less of those reviews, hopefully we are back next week.